Follow along, Catholic pilgrims, as we follow French doctor of the Church, St. Francis de Sales, through his book, Introduction to the Devout Life. Tune in as we read through this practical guide for living out the Catholic faith well. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, depending on when you are tuning in. Thank you for pressing play. I'm very glad you've come to listen to St. Francis today. Our topic today will be on confessing our sins, primarily our mortal sins, through a general confession. So flip in your book to chapter 6 in the first part, and let's begin. Chapter 6. First purification, that of mortal sin. The first purification to be made is that of sin, and the means, the Holy Sacrament of Penance. Seek the best confessor that you can. Take some one of the books prepared for the aid of conscience, read it carefully, and observe minutely wherein you have sinned from the earliest period up to the present time. And if you distrust your memory, write down what you discover. Having thus examined and collected the sinful wounds of your conscience, detest them, and with your whole heart reject and abhor them by contrition, remembering these 4 things: that by sin you have lost God's grace, forfeited heaven, merited hell, and renounced the eternal love of God. You see, Philothea, that I am now speaking of a general confession of the whole past life, which, although not always absolutely necessary, I still hold to be a most profitable beginning and recommend it strongly. The ordinary confessions of those who live a commonplace material life are full of faults. Frequently, they make little or no preparation and come without the requisite contrition, and therefore confess, with the tacit intention of repeating their sins, since they will neither avoid the occasions of falling, nor take the needful steps for amending their lives. To all, such a general confession is requisite to assure the soul. Furthermore, it increases our self-knowledge, incites a healthy sorrow for our past sins, fills us with admiration of the patience and mercy of God, calms our hearts, relieves our mind, incites in us good resolutions, enables our spiritual Father to guide us with more certainty, and opens our heart to speak fully and with confidence in our future confessions. Therefore, in preparing for an entire renewal of the heart and dedication of our soul to God and commencing a devout life, I do not hesitate to recommend as a first step this general confession. I grew up with my dad being a bodybuilder, and he has been my entire life. And so I spent a lot of time in gyms with him when I was growing up. And consequently, I grew to enjoy working out and being a part of a gym so that I can lift weights. It's proved a bit tricky these past couple of years because of COVID, living in Turkey where working out wasn't really a big thing. And then my son is now at that magical age where he's too old for childcare at the gym, but too young to be out on the floor with me. And so, what do you do? Anyway, the point is I've been a part of gyms nearly all my life. And always come January, you see the January resolutionaries show up, and they are ready to tackle the whole getting in shape thing. They have new gym clothes, the new water bottle, all the gear, and they are set. And for a while, most are very committed. But by the end of March, a lot of people have petered out. So first, let's talk about why people want to work out. And there are a couple of reasons. I'm not going to list them all, but one, people think that they should work out because people say it's good for you. Number 2, saying you work out at a gym is admirable, and we like people to think well of us. Number 3, people want to look hot, ripped, or fit into cuter clothes. And I should also add here that some people don't want to even start working out because they feel that they are too far gone physically and that they just won't ever get back into shape. None of these reasons are going to help a person stick to a workout regimen. And the reason why is because they aren't working out for the right reasons. What helps it stick is if you truly understand the need for movement and exercise in your body. You are willing to be uncomfortable. You want to be healthy so that you can be active and enjoy life to the best of your ability. And you are willing to give yourself some time to get into shape. And it's the same with confession. If you see confession as something to do because that's what you're supposed to do, because the Catholic Church says that we need to go, or if you just want others to think of you as a good Catholic because you go, they see you standing in line, or if you want to kind of make confession superficial just so that you can think of yourself as doing all the right things and, hey, I'm a good Catholic. Or also, if you just don't even think confession is for you because you're just too big of a sinner and God would never be able to forgive someone like you, well, confession will be something that you rarely go to, if at all. St. Francis tells us that to be serious about confession, we must, quote, examine and collect the sinful wounds of our conscience, detest them, and with our whole heart reject and abhor them by contrition, unquote. We have to have all the right reasons for going, and we have to approach it in the right way. We can't approach confession having made, quote, little or no preparation and come without the requisite contrition, and therefore confess with a tacit intention of repeating our sins, since we will neither avoid the occasions of falling nor take the needful steps for amending our lives, unquote. Just like if we want to be serious about getting into shape, there are certain things we must do and attitudes we must adopt. And the same is true of confession if we want to get our soul in shape. So, if it's been a while, Catholic pilgrims, since you've been to confession, I'd encourage you to explore the reasons why. Is it for one of the reasons stated above? Maybe you feel like you're just too far gone. Or maybe you're just relying on what other people think about you, and since that's not really a good reason, it just isn't enough to get you to go. I don't know. Or, maybe it's another reason that I haven't talked about here. But whatever the reason, honestly evaluate why you've stayed away and spend some time in prayer with God, asking Him to foster that desire to go and to go for all the right reasons, helping it to stick in your life. So we'll stop here, Catholic pilgrims. Have a blessed day. And until next time, live the faith boldly and travel well.